And good, insert whatever time it is based on your time zone here. We have the Z1 Randomizer 2023 Groundhog Day race. So the way this works is that the runners are going to have 45 minutes from the time they start a fresh file to beat the game. Now they can restart whenever they want, except they have to restart at 45 minutes and they can keep all the information they had going into it. I am Elzo and I'm joined by Tracy M.
Hey, Elso. Yeah, it's GroundHog's Day, so a lot of repeating, and should be a really fun one. We have Malkier, not to be confused with Malkior, on the tracking, formerly known as Dark Falls. Apparently, he had his name first. That's what he tells us. So not to be too confused, but definitely want to shout him out right away because tracking this is going to be difficult. And to warn y'all, he's not going to, once someone finds an item, not going to take it off every time they reset. So items will continue to be listed.
Yep. Probably the easiest way to think of it is marking the knowledge that the runners have.
Right. Now, while we wait for this race to start, why don't you talk about some of the settings that we have?
So we have a mixed first quest overworld, shapes dungeons, no hints, because why do you need hints when you can just reset whenever you want? Regular start shuffle, white sword, Armos, and bow on the coast, as you can see nicely put on the tracker. With extra candles, that means that the runners will likely just take their wood sword candle and then get the white sword.
Yeah, I think that would be that seems really smart. Especially since at some point we're already finding level 9 there on Trant Gaver's side. They're at vanilla level 1. Now Fury says, I'm just gonna take this candle here where the container heart is.
I like this play because you have to assume you're not going to complete it on the first 45-minute cycle.
Right. I mean, that'd be pretty amazing. A pretty amazing time.
Especially given we need all 8 Triforces for 9. So I like this. Take the candle, get the information. Then, when you go for the full run, if you even need a candle, get your candle out of the wood sword cave because you'll know where it is.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, by then you might not need a candle. Or maybe the red candle shows up and you don't have to worry about, picking up the blue candle. But yeah, I imagine trying to seek out your Armos white sword early makes a lot of sense. And we see Fury SK about to go to the Death Armos. 31 rupee bombs. Ooh.
Not fantastic.
Not good at all.
It's interesting. We have 3 runners rushing Armos items, but Rick seems to be a little more focused on get my exploration done, see what's where, and then assess afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for this mode in particular, I'm actually not sure. I mean, I've never done this before, and this is new to me, so we'll see what the best way to approach this is.
If I'm to inject a thought as both a runner and a commentator, I think I would be inclined to do overworld exploration on round 1.
Yes, that makes sense.
Once I have my overworld explored to know where everything is, do a second round if I can to figure out where the items are, and then a third round to beat the seed.
Fury, pretending that he really wants that boomerang. At 3 hearts, you're not getting it though. Assuming that's the white sword item. Need 4 to 6 to grab that item. There's a level 1 for Truant Gamer.
This will probably be a white sword right here.
Yeah, there it is.
Hooray!
Okay, go right back into level 1. Of course, level 1 with no keys. Level 1 likes to be a key hog. Let's see what he can do in here.
Malkior finds level 8. The large secret is 84 rupees.
And hello, Gleehawk. Right as we enter. And of course, we do have our container hearts shuffled within the pool. So this is going to have 3 items in level 1.
Nice segmented 1, by the way.
It's Rupee Boss. Let's see if this is a... Nope, not with the key there. We do get a key, so that's good. Yeah, in fact, Rick also finding level 1. About to find that segment.
I was elected to go in swordless, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, a little unfortunate with the sword literally on the next screen.
But I don't think it's going to hold him up too much, honestly.
No, this is still the first go-through, so...
And if your goal is just to get information and start devising a route, then I think this is fine.
looks like Fury also on his way to that same little corner. So we'll find his white sword and his level 1 as well.
So the question is, when will Rick go to the Armos that's nearby to get the white sword?
After he's done as much as he can out of level 1.
Which would be now.
Which is now. And there you go, Rick. Grab that sword. Get off the screen before you die from those.
There may or may not have been a Farfadugan set at that moment.
Yeah, I think probably just gonna up A to get his 3 hearts back.
Okay, Drunk Gamer has elected to take a retry. Now, he is starting effectively from a fresh file, but I'm not sure if that counts as a reset or not.
That's a really good question.
I'm gonna go look up the extra rules real quick.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because retrying is not the same as resetting. I mean, it is if you use the same file. But because he hasn't saved yet, it's effectively like he's reset onto a new file. And Malkier, now the only one left to find the white sword, will probably find it shortly. Again, is on his way to that same little area.
Hearing that the raft is in one under the Gleok.
And Rick's gonna take that white sword into 8. Very pretty purple 8. Ooh. Another point we should make is the enemy damage is vanilla, or the damage, the HP of the enemies is vanilla. So white sword on the blue Dark Nuts, yeah, you're still going to be needing H sword slashes on them with the white sword.
Will only be 4.
You're right, 4. 8 would be wood sword.
Yes, and I could not find the rule.
Okay, well,
so
I will trust the people running this to figure that one out for us.
I would treat it as a non-restart for running purposes. Or we're actually hearing from our tracker that it would be counted as a new file, given it's a start from scratch. So that's fine. Turin gets a couple of minutes back to work with. But Rick is our first runner to find a dungeon item.
Yeah, a raft that may or may not have anything behind it.
That's a level 5. Over on Fury's side.
That is quite the level 5 there. Nice little hole in the upper portion of the dungeon. And nice little bomb upgrade for 100 rupees.
It's a bomb upgrade that stops you from continuing in the dungeon. That's the best type of bomb upgrade.
It's so funny.
Also, I'm gonna name this ink blot as a bell sprout of sorts.
Okay.
That was my immediate thought when I saw this. Is like, hey, we got bell sprout in the scene. Current gamer is in the purple 8. Actually, is this the mauve color or is this like the actual purple?
I don't know. I just think it's pretty.
Malkier working his way through level 1, Fury working their way through level 5, and Rick is exploring the overworld.
Oh, missed on that bomb, trying to get the bombs from the Dodongos there, and now has none left.
Quite a bit unfortunate, as that was also his last bomb. We're hearing level 8 is just Laffy Taffy color.
That works for me.
Fortunately for me, I don't eat Laffy Taffies ever.
And it looks like we're ladder blocked at least one direction to get to that top area.
Oh, there's a Triforce.
It looks like a Y-Force to me.
Do you leave when you get the Triforce like that when you know you have no bombs and potentially are ladder blocked?
This was pretty close to the start spot. I could see going back in, but I could also see just letting it go, come back with some bombs. Maybe come back with the ladder, since one of the paths to go up is definitely ladder blocked.
But what if the ladder is in level 5? Then it gets spooky!
I mean, it could happen.
Malkier is going to continue digging level 1. Rick is going to find level 4.
Doesn't look like he wants... No, yeah, doesn't want to check it yet. Probably wants to get this raft spot first.
Yeah. And if you're thinking, okay, I only have 45 minutes, I want to get my overworld block found quickly so that I know where I need to go. Malkier misses a forced bomb. Drink Gamer finds the Annie key in level 8. Okay.
That's neat. That's a nice item.
Was that under the Patra?
He just killed a Patra, so it was either under or near.
Nothing at the raft spot. It is under the Patra.
Yeah, it is. It sure is. Well,
Lovely.
you know, White Sword makes that better.
Yeah, but you still have to kill the Patra.
Nice Gleeok. We can't do any... Well, I mean, we could kill the Gleeok and then still stare at that water. We can't get across. Beware the flood, even better.
Looks like Malkier is going to get a key and immediately spend it to find a Triforce room that has a key. He won't do that on the next go-through because he knows that that's just key for key, and that's a lot of time to spend for a key. And level 2 is at level 8. And again, we're seeing Rick say, you know what, I'm just going to get my overworld explored. I'll come back for these later. And Heart Container is the second floor item in 1. Fury's now level 1. This could be the stair in level 1 for Malkier.
One more Pole's voice to go.
You know, I want to know who Pole is. And, ooh, that's
Heart
not
Container.
much.
He says nope.
So, that's level 1 is going to probably just be Triforce and go. Because I believe we saw from Rick's side, the raft is not required at all.
Right, so you just need to pick up the Triforce and nothing else.
And you can Kanana key that door, so you don't even need to come in with a key. Although it is faster to come in with a key.
I mean, it depends on when you do it, right? I mean, the any key is available. They could just prioritize that a little bit more.
Right. And really, you just have to weigh the balance of how much is the any key worth versus the time it takes to get it. Also, apparently there is a wand somewhere in level 8.
That's quest 2. Quest 2 of Vanilla. Has the any key and the wand in level 8.
It was on the floor. Oh, come on. Give us the book in 8 so that we get all of the vanilla items in 8.
There you go.
Looks like that's just a dead-end stair for Truant. Rick finds a segmented 4.
Why not?
Well, that's a Pokemon from Gen 3. It's also terrible if you're running a Nuzlocke run. Fury's now going to get the raft. Rick's going to see a ladder block. Fury's going to go north to the Triforce room of Wood. Okay, that's interesting information.
Which...
You're going to want to come to one with a bow.
Oh. Oh, look at that map. There's that little segment of 3 rooms.
And level 1 also just has a foot.
Yeah, it sure does.
Fury Gamer's continuing to dig 8. Malkier buys a meat.
I mean, just for those Pole's voices, it'd be nice to have that bow.
Yeah. Malkier finds level 5. Fury will find a heart.
And Fury's gonna say yes to the heart.
This is kind of interesting.
Oh, I just got a quick look at that 4 map. It's like a mini version of the other, what was the which map was it that we saw earlier with the hole in the top?
Oh, 5?
Yeah.
So, the reason I'm not entirely sure I would have picked that heart up if I'm Fury is I would have wanted to see what the white sword item's heart requirement is.
Mm.
And the specific reason I would have wanted to see that is you assume that you're not going to be getting the magical sword in this scene.
Yo, absolutely. Because I mean, I can't imagine by the time you know where everything is, you're going to spend the time to pick up whatever number of hearts it's going to take. 12 plus or minus 2, so.
Also, apparently we acknowledge that the white sword item's a boomerang, and I just missed it.
Yeah, it was a boomerang. We saw, I want to say it was Fury dancing over it with 3 hearts earlier.
So with that in mind, I guess Fury might want to consider, okay, how many hearts is the magical sword?
Picks Tron Gamer with another heart container.
As Melchior finds the nothing in level 5. Fury's up on Death Mountain. Rick is considering some options.
Okay, there's a transport staircase from Melchior in 5.
Gonna take him up to this top portion. Remember that you had to take the transport to get here because of the bomb upgrade.
Until you have money to buy the bombs.
Well, even then, the door won't open.
Oh.
Yeah, there can never be a door behind a bomb upgrade.
Gotcha.
Second quest 9 has been replaced with 37 rupees. I think that's actually a better deal.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal. That's a decent low secret anyway.
Level
and a
six.
vanilla low secret. 37 on the medium is pretty nice, and I don't think we've seen a big secret yet.
It's 84.
It's 84? Yeah, it's not so great.
And Jerome's gonna dig level 6.
Yeah, Truant, the only one that's found that any key. Really nice, making it very easy to get through.
There's the majestical boomerang. Melchior's gonna try to get bombs off the troll dongos, and will succeed.
There we go.
Oh man, watch the speed of the stair item room too. Melchior's just gonna feed the Dodongo some bombs, make sure he doesn't lose his bombs.
Yeah, I mean, when you have enough to do it that way, it's probably better.
Oh, it's a stair. What's inside?
Heart container. He just says no.
Wah, wah, wah. Rick is capped out on money.
Find something to buy.
Like a blue ring. Or a magic shield. Or your ladder blocked in 5, no matter what.
Or play, do a little bit of gambling.
Buy the wood arrows. Buy a ladder for 3 easy payments of $199.95. Also, how's the old man gonna know if he's out of fire?
I mean, he's magical that way, right?
And Melchior sees a ladder block and is probably not very much happy about that.
Oh, there's our wood sword.
Where was that at?
Yeah, unfortunately, Fury saving or saving and quitting right out of that, so we're up a.
Actually, hold on. Based on where he was, that would have had to have been the top of Death Mountain. Which is terrible. Because that's where your free... I think at this point, you're going to take the free candle out of the cave that's right next to start.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not going to want to walk that far for your candle when you can just get one.
The shop sells things you can get in the forest for free.
Level 6 with the book.
Yay, book. Hi, Zelda's room.
That's an ugly 6. That's a lot of rooms.
It looks like the face of a monster from an NES or an Atari game. Rick finds the transport. Oh, ladder block Triforce in 6. That's nice.
Well, since we need to get the ladder anyway to get the bow, it's like whatever.
Oh no,
It'd be
we
nice
need
to have
the
gotten
ladder.
it now, but yeah, we do definitely need that ladder to get that bow.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, well, that's nice. 6 look to be on the south coast. Jerry gets told tingle tingle Kululimpa.
See, there's your magic seal. 164 rupees, anyone.
That's only a small price to pay to take 0 damage from Wizard Beams as long as you face the correct way. Don't ask what happens if you don't.
Just bad things.
You die. And Truant's now going to go into level 2 with the map.
So, 1 was segmented. 4 and 5.
Okay.
Like, how many segmented dungeons have we seen so far on these lower levels?
So, we've seen 2, and silvers were just available on the floor for 3 and 2.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
Well, now we don't have to buy arrows.
so
At
Truant's
least not by the time that we're doing our final run.
Jerry finds level 3, which based on my recollection means that 7 has to be overworld blocked.
I don't think we've seen a block yet, so yeah, I think you're right.
So now I think if I'm Truant, I just look for my last couple of things, get my overworld block, and then like really just look for ladder, overworld block, and then reset and beat the game.
Yeah. So the ladder, could be, well, we only have seen the raft, and we've seen the raft spots. We haven't seen a bracelet, we haven't seen a flute, recorder, whatever. We haven't seen... And the ladder, of course, could block one of the entrances up at Second Quest level 8 area in the river.
And if you're a Truant gamer, you want one of those 2 spots to be... you want one of those 2 spots really badly to be your level 7. Because then you don't have to look for anything else.
That would work out very nicely.
Although I don't think Truant knows where level 3 is. Only Fury's seen that so far. Jerry gonna go ahead and potion. Makes a lot of sense. Oh my goodness, the ladder's in 2. Ladder and silver's in 2.
Well, that works out really nicely for Truant. I mean, that could be everything he needs, potentially. I mean, yeah, it's 2 locations instead of, how many recorder locations are there potentially? Like 11.
11, I think.
And there's, 7 bracelet locations?
4 guaranteed, 3 potential.
Yeah, because there's 3 more in the second quest, and then the any caves, any roads are always in the same place.
So, actually, I think if I'm Truant here, I want to find all my levels. I want to identify what my Triforce rooms are, and my paths to them before I reset.
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense. He's only 22 minutes in, so...
Yeah, and remember,
Rick...
he did take that retry, so he might have a couple extra minutes to work
that's
with.
a good point. Rick grabs the any key.
I would put Truant in a very strong position, having gotten 2 done.
For sure. Yeah, 2 is very important, and then having the items out of 8, while neither is actually required, those are really nice items.
Yeah, they're definitely speeding up his ability to get through this seed. Or really just get the information that he needs for run 2.
Yeah,
he could very well beat this on day 2, though.
I do think because with that any key so early, I think you're going to pick that up the next time. I don't know how much you keep track of key doors and keys when you have that any keys early. Now, the wand, on the other hand, I could definitely see skipping that.
I think I'd skip it. We're hearing wand on the floor in level 3, and this will be the other item in 3 for Fury. Not the wand, the whistle. Blech. Words are hard, math is easy. And the other thing is, that having the book also gives you the map, so Truant can kind of map out, okay, what's my pads, and not have to worry about any rooms that aren't on those pads.
Okay, Malky, we're about to find out that raft really isn't worth it.
So probably won't be getting that on the return trip. Rick trying to get through 5. I believe there is a mercy rule in play of some sort. I want to say it's day 3 is when the mercy rule kicks in.
What does the mercy rule do?
Something about the players are allowed to go ahead and just finish out the seed at that point.
Ah, gotcha.
And heart in the stair of 3.
Yeah, Fury's been picking up the heart container. Looks like the 2:30 mark, Kami and Renakai, who's been kind enough to set up the restream for us, says that at that point, then you can just finish.
That is quite a mark to hit.
I know, that's an average Link to the Past cross key seat for me, so.
I wouldn't know, I don't play cross keys. I much prefer just regular keys with OpenGT.
Floor heart for Truant Gamer in 4.
He's gonna go ahead and pick that up while looking for his other item.
Now, Fury with the Triforce out of 3. And there's that. And there's a mugger room. Always nice when you can just use the any key to pay for your mugger room.
Yep. That's a less nice Goma, though. I think I like Truant's approach of just kill the Goma because you're not really going to be able to sneak past it with ease anyway, so you might as well just get it off of the board.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Rick finds a heart, and this is stair item in 5. Believe we knew that was there. Based on the fact that Rick doesn't have ladder, that's not in the ladder block portion of the level. Truant will find the stair item in 4 here. Fury continuing to look for levels, as is Malkior. And, heart. And look at that. Ladder block, Triforce, and 4. So so I think 2 is going to be the first dungeon that you do on the repeat. It's just too good to pass up.
Ladder and silvers? I didn't see how many key doors there were, and I don't know how far that any key is into 8. But as long as you can get it pretty easily, yeah, I completely agree.
Although, I guess you could do level 1 first if you're willing to fight that Pulse Voice room with the sword. And then level 1's out of the way, and I don't recall there being anything else really of major value up that direction.
Yeah, the argument for doing level 1 is it's right next to the white sword. And the argument against doing level 1 is, man, it's faster if you have the arrows. If you can shoot those Pulse Voices with the bow.
So the question... Oh, that's Power Bracelet spot taken off the board.
Yeah, it's a vanilla any road, actually.
So the question will naturally be, where is level 7?
Well, we have a recorder to look. Well, one of us does. Just Malkior with that recorder.
So we'll need to definitely... Well, Malkior's going to find 2. He'll probably dig it.
Yeah,
Go up.
yeah.
Go up.
Stay here, stay here.
Go up. No, don't leave. Don't leave. Oh, you left.
Good. Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, you do need a candle to get in there, though. So that's actually not a terrible idea. Maybe you route White Sword 1, candle, then come to 2 and 6.
I could see that.
Assuming you don't just get the candle that's on the way.
It does mean that we do need to pick up a candle at some point. You can't skip it.
Right. And I have every reason to assume that it's faster to get the candle near start than it is to go get the red candle.
I mean, we don't know where the red candle is, so probably, yeah. Unless it turns out to be a lot easier than we're expecting.
It'll be in 9. Just watch. It'll end up in 9. Truant Gamer finds level 3, as does
Oh, Fury has the recorder. Okay.
Fury with the recorder out of 3. Truant and Rick both in 3 at the same time. Rick has to go and pick up the map. Truant also has bow and silver, so that will make his trip through this dungeon a lot quicker. The GroundHog's Day Race is where you play the same seed over and over again until you can beat it in under 45 minutes, or it hits the 2-hour 30 mark where you're allowed to beat the seed. Basically, you're just constantly resetting like it's Groundhog Day, so you're reliving the same seed over and over. Fury finds level 2.
This will be good for him. For those of you that may have missed it, Fury in level 2, there is silver arrows and a ladder here. Ladder, very important, because we do have a guaranteed bow on the coast item.
Malkier's checking the recorder spots now. Level 7 is vanilla!
There's 7.
Alright. So, yeah, I think if I'm Truant Gamer, well, really if I'm any of the runners, once I have my knowledge of where the dungeons are, I just look in the dungeons for, okay, what do I need? Oh, Malkier is moving on to day 2. Nice. Malkier is going to day 2 with just the knowledge, not looking for where the Triforces are. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think I would have looked for what the paths to the Triforce rooms are in these dungeons. I can understand the logic of just go, but you really want to know where your Triforces are and where the things you need to get are so that you can have a little bit of a faster time in your day 2.
Maybe he's thinking, you know, I've got this much knowledge now. I can just go to my dungeons now, and day 2 I can use to find my path through the dungeons and then reset for day 3.
If that's the plan, then that's a very interesting plan. Because again, I would think taking the extra 15 minutes that you get on day 1 would be worth it, but
yeah,
obviously I'm not running it.
I could see either way, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Malkier is racking up hearts pretty quickly. Is this a magic boomerang play? Current gamer finds left mola.
What you would want. I mean, I am not a boomerang hater by any stretch, but it definitely, once you have other weapons like a sword that you know exactly where it is, the boomerang doesn't have quite as much use. Oh, nice wizard room there for Rick. Only has 3 hearts. You can take 2 hits. He can take 1 hit and then can't take the second one.
But he gets
through.
Oh, I guess Malkier was thinking, okay, I can get a few extra hearts for free. I might as well get a couple extra hearts for some safety. Drunk Gamer picks up the Triforce out of 3. Probably is not going to be going back for the second item. He has a very reasonable case to say, I'm in go mode until the game requires me to get a power bracelet.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Go check those those recorder locations.
Malkier has decided to grab some money. Now, Malkier does not have silvers and ladder knowledge yet out of 2. But I believe Malkier knows where 2 is.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised you would... Yeah, that reset now surprising me a little bit more. Just because of that lack of knowledge, specifically.
He's gonna grab the letter. I would say if he had knowledge that ladder and silvers are in 2, the reset is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think I like the reset better with that knowledge.
But with 90 rupees, he is headed up towards the white sword item. Gonna make a quick detour. Pick up some bombs. Rick gets a ladder.
So no getting a bow for those Polish voices. That's unfortunate.
But they're not the worst things in the world to kill with sword, to be honest. I'm sure I'm just still looking for level 7.
Oof.
As is Fury.
Rick takes that death. Nice. We went to this.
Rick's going to day 2.
Rick's going to day 2. Interesting the different strategies we're seeing here. Rick just went ahead and deleted his file. Malkier had a second file already set up, ready to go to.
Now, there is one argument I can see being made for go to day 2 now, which is that especially in Malcure's case, you have knowledge of where all the dungeons are, so it's not like you need to find them.
Right.
So there is some more validity to, okay, well, why spend the time looking for the Triforces when I just have to look for them again?
Right.
Ooh, Malcure almost gets wall mastered. But gets through the door, likely not going to reopen it. He's just, oh, he is going to reopen it. Probably a safety strat just in case he takes a death here, which is completely valid. Because this is not necessarily the easiest room to kill Pole's voice in, especially when you know you're not going to get a call.
Yeah, it comes back to that earlier discussion we had. You know, it is possible we could have the bow for this, but you're right here with the white sword. The white sword is literally one screen over.
Rick's going to pick up a free potion instead of the heart. Malcure gets Triforce out of 1. Truant Gamer's going to get the unfortunate news at 5. Oh, he's on the top side of 5. He's fine. The unfortunate news at 5 is ladder blocked if he didn't have a ladder. Malcure elects to take a save. I expect this will be now a play to level 2.
Yeah, Truant needs to be careful with these bombs. Uh-oh.
Down to 1. And Rick does not immediately go for level 1. I think he's going to level 2 to get that ladder so he can have the bow for 1.
Did he pick up the sword?
He did pick up the sword.
Okay.
Did Malcure see where 6 is?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's on the south coast, so it's not like he's far from it. Has exactly enough with 2 to spare.
2
for
to
that
spare.
red.
Nice price. It's
You know
3
what?
lower than vanilla, so you know.
You know what? The 5er that he got out of 1
Yeah.
is what made that happen. Yeah, I don't know if Malcure has seen 6. I would presume he has based on the fact that he immediately...
Yeah, I mean,
Went
it's
to day
4
2.
screens to watch. It could easily have missed him seeing 6.
And Malcure does have a little bit of a key situation to consider.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize just how free those silvers were in 2.
Yeah, it's literally walk in, get silvers, leave.
Yeah, unfortunately, the ladder's a little bit deeper, so you're not getting that bow before you get the ladder.
And I think you just kill the Triforce room without getting the bow, because it's just not worth it.
And there's that ugly, ugly wizard room.
Malcure is going to elect to leave.
Yeah, he hasn't really explored much of 2, and I can see not wanting to with that wizard room, but I think you have to go through it to get...
You have to go through that room at some point.
Yeah.
Truant Gamer gets a Triforce out of 5.
This is not a kind enemy set in a 2 that you need to get 2 items out of.
Malcure is instead going to go do 4. Which I don't believe was ladder blocked. Fury finds level 7. It's ladder blocked. I expect Malcure will make his way back to 2 shortly, though.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the thing where it's like, okay, this is why you kind of want to check your other dungeons while you're on day 1 if you can, so that you have an idea of what you're expecting. Not ladder blocked 7. Ladder blocked 7.
That's a very ladder block 7. Rick gets his ladder again.
Fury's going to give the heart up. Rick is going to leave and go get the bow. Interesting.
We know how deep that Triforce is, because it is going to make the combat that much easier.
And Rick might also say, you know what, I'm going to come back later when I go do 6.
Yeah, that'd be fair.
Rick has a bow. He is leaving.
Just going to point out, the bow is really hard to see on the ghost.
Triforce not ladder blocked in 7. Very important. But yeah, this is kind of the trouble with not knowing for certain where all of your stuff is before you reset. Is now you're on that 45-minute timer, you still have to find items.
Yeah.
Now,
Fury.
Malkier could have seen the ladder and just chose not to get it right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at Fury here in level 7. Probably gonna dig it for the items here. Still needs to get back to 2. It's a little unfortunate because he's getting close to that 45-minute mark since he has not restarted yet.
And there's the ladder block Triforce in 4.
Yeah, just gotta go through that wizard room. Hello, wood boomerang. The Fury is trying very hard to avoid picking up.
Looks like Malkier does not have an interest in going back to 2 at the moment. Gonna go into 3 instead. Drunk Gamer's back at level 1.
We seen everything out of level 1?
We have seen... Yes. 2 hearts and a raft.
And we've seen everything.
Malkier is now going to go through the Pole's Voice of level 3. Okay, it's going to elliptical Petra.
Yeah, our tracker's saying that we have not seen the item, 1 item in 7 and 2. Obviously, we haven't seen any of the items in 9.
Rick taking a death to the Patra. Fury finds the transport in 7, gonna take it.
Now, Fury's, yeah, Chad asking about that wooden boomerang. Fury saw it and carefully avoided it. I'm pretty certain he did not pick it up.
Yeah, I think he did not want the wooden boomerang under any circumstance here.
But he does seem to... No, never mind. He did pick it up eventually because he's got it up on his B right now. That's interesting.
Drink Gamer's got the Triforce out of level 1, verified what that room is. Truant is getting close to his 45-minute mark. He does have that couple of extra minutes to work with. Is he gambling that he can just pull this off? Because he doesn't know where 7 is yet.
He's got 6, 7, and 8 to finish.
Well,
no, there's no way you do that. You do everything in 4 minutes.
Well, Truant does have the knowledge of where the Triforce is in 6.
Yes.
Truant might be saying, you know what, let me get knowledge of where everything is and call it good.
Yeah, he's definitely playing to get as much knowledge as he can, I believe. Rick did come back for his any key. It's a little unfortunate for Fury. It also looks like he's trying to get as much knowledge as he can on the first go-around. But Fury has not dug into level 2 yet. And 2 is like the key dungeon in here, where we have both silvers and the all-important ladder to get our bow.
I think Fury did get the silvers out of 2.
Got the silver. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because the silvers were pretty free in 2. But yeah, that wizard room just a nasty little wizard room with like 7 or 8 of them just trying to ambush you. And oh,
wait, Fury hasn't seen where 6 is.
he's
Truant's the only runner I think that's seen 6.
Okay, so gets a bracelet, which could lead him to other locations. Looking for that, yeah, like you said, level 6.
So remember that and for folks watching at home, Malkier's day 2 started at, I believe, 30 minutes. So he's already about a third of a way through this second day. Rick's a little bit less into the second day because he started it later. Drunk Gamer's gonna go ahead and look for where the Triforce in here is. I do not recall what time Drunk Gamer was at when he did that reset. So it's kind of interesting to see how the early day 2 can be a little bit of a detriment if you don't know where everything is.
Yeah.
Thankfully, level 3 is pretty quick to get both items out of. Because the item is right here, but... And Malkier doesn't know he's going to have to go through that blue wizard room in 2.
Of note, Rick did pick up the wand in 8.
And the magic key. Truant Gamer's back in 8. Truant Gamer does not have a lot of time here. So unless he's YOLO gambling on a perfect 9, he's going to have to take another day.
So this is the first I've seen the map of 8, and all I'm going to say is I see 9 smaller than that, so... that's pretty darn big.
Now, what I do think this will benefit Truant Gamer is if Truant has knowledge of exactly what he needs to do and where he needs to go, his day 2 should be about, 20 minutes or so? Because at that point, you're basically just exploring 9, and most 9s aren't going to take you over 30 minutes, so... I would expect him not to explore 9, actually, on this run. Maybe do a little bit of it, but realistically, just completely not check 9 at all, and just get all of his other information that he needs.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of time left.
There he goes.
In fact, this is day 2 for Truant. And Fury's going to do one last bracelet check, and he's going to have to go to day 2 soon, too.
All right, 44.50 for Truant Gamer's day 2, 3. And Fury's day 2 starts now.
He went straight to 45, all the way to 45. Milked it for all it was worth.
Yep. Malkier now has level 6. Truant Gamer is making his way. I would expect he's probably just going to go ahead and do 1 while he's here.
Yeah, that seems to be the play from our runners so far.
Or, well, that actually changes things.
You know, now I think you just wait.
Now I think you go to 2.
I think you go to 2, get your goodies out of 2, and then 1 becomes a lot easier. I think it would have been nice to do them both at the same time, but yeah, that's not going to work out. There's no reason to walk all the way back to 1 with that death.
And 1's kind of close to where 9 is anyway, so you could hold off for 1 until the end, but Truant does need a candle.
Yes.
So the problem that Malkier is going to run into is Malkier is going to dig this 6, which is going to eat up a lot of time on this day 2 and might force him into a day 3.
Yeah.
Truant right now is by and far in the best shape to finish on day 2. Which, yes, technically Truant might be on day 3, but it's effectively day 2.
I mean, the biggest issue right now for Fury and Malkior is the fact that they just haven't dug into 2 yet. You've got those silver arrows, and what? No, surely there's not a second really important item in 2 beyond that wizard room. But unfortunately there is. There's that ladder's there, and you're gonna need to get that to get your bow.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that... So, for everyone's awareness, Truant and Fury both took their day 2s right at about that 45-minute mark.
Yep.
Malkier took his at about 30, and Rick, I think, was at about 36 when he took his.
Sounds about right.
Jerry's gotten the Triforce out of 1. Truant has opened the door into 2. Malkier's bow blocked in 6. Gonna have to up A. Truant's gonna work his way through the wizards.
Oh, takes a hit though.
And Fury's an 8.
Not ideal.
I mean, it's blue wizards. The fact that he got through it at all is honestly a thing. But Fury's elected to go to 8 next. Now, I don't think Fury knows what's here.
No, I don't think he's seen either the key or the wand here.
Nice clock for Truant Gamer. Gonna help him out a little bit.
Would have been nice to get that a little bit earlier, but, you know.
Not gonna go get that compass. Don't need it.
Nah, he already knows where the things are.
And this is probably one of, if not the toughest room in the whole scene.
Yeah, at least for ones where you actually have to kill all the enemies.
But Truant will be rewarded with a slightly faster level 1. Although, the question is it actually faster when you consider how long it's going to take to walk back there?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit faster to have just done it the first time around, but, you know.
Malkier will receive the heart container. Gonna ignore it. Also gets the map of 6. Druin's trying to be a little... Oh, Druin's got a Kanana key this door open. Gets the Kanana key.
Nice.
That's so significant.
That's really cool. Yeah, because he has not gone back to get that any key out of level 8.
And honestly, he might not if he thinks he'll be fine on keys in 9.
It depends on... Have we seen the Triforce in 8?
No.
Because I feel like the any key is pretty early in the dungeon. With no idea what 9 is like, not having that any key. Especially considering Truant Gamer in particular got that any key so early, first time through. I don't know how much he's been keeping track of where other keys are.
Yeah, he might just assume. He might just get it. So 5 minutes into their day 2s, Fury picks up the Eddie key, and Truant Gamer picks up the Triforce in 2. Truant's gonna try to get a bomb here.
These are definitely bomb droppers, but are we gonna get one?
No. I'm gonna pick up his bell on the coast. We'll see where he goes from here. Probably to 6. Well, he can't get into 6 right now. He doesn't have bombs. That's probably why he wants bombs so badly, is he wants to get into 6.
Yeah, with only 14 rupees, he can't afford them either.
So with that so with no bombs, I think he's gonna route up to 3, try to get bombs in there, take those to 4, and then come back for 6. Malkier still on his day 2 run, as is Rick. Nobody has switched to nobody has elected to take an early day 3. Malkier headed somewhere. Truant in 3. Fury gonna grab the transport in 8. Heart for Rick out of 8. Fury finds the dead stair.
Oof.
Truant takes a death in level 3. A little unfortunate, but not gonna be a showstopper.
Yeah, the big question for me, though, is still, when do Fury and Malkier go back into level 2?
Probably when they have to. Honestly,
Yeah.
they will probably go back when they have to.
Which is really unfortunate. This level 8 is just so big.
Yeah, if they end up digging out this whole level 8, which granted, we still don't know where the Triforce is at.
That's true. We have not seen the 8 Triforce.
Although Malkier's up to a whopping 7 keys, so there are keys that you can get outside of the magic key.
We're
So
working on this Patra.
this could be the Triforce room, though.
Too bad that the bosses don't stay dead if you have to reset this entire seed.
Okay, based on Truant Gamer skipping that key, I am betting that Truant is going to pick up the any key in 8.
Yeah, there was your Triforce.
In the Badger room?
Yep.
Beautiful. Gonna see some spawn manipulations here. Try to get... Yep, that's what you want to see for
Yeah,
Truant.
that's exactly what you want. Okay, we got the Triforce out of 3 on Truant's side. Rick picks up his Triforce out of 8.
Truant does have some bombs, so we can now do 4 and 6. Rick out of level 8. About... Let's see, let's do some quick maps. Started at 32. It's about 17 minutes or so in. They still had 20 minutes at 56, so yeah, he's about 17 minutes in. Malkier's about 23. Truant and Fury both 13. I will do my best to try to keep track of that. How many minutes into their run they are. Druin's gonna get some extra bombs there. I like it. No reason not to pick those up. Druin's on 3 hearts, so Druid may just 3 heart run this seed.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. If
And
you're
Fury, I
confident in
expect
your
to do the
Ganon
same.
fight, then there's no reason to pick up any extra hearts. Given that we had the White Sword item was the blue boomerang, so definitely not needed.
And Magical Sword is just too far out of the way and too many hearts to get for it to be reasonable. Alright, out of level 4 is Truant Gamer, probably going to make his way to 6 now. Not even picking up the 5-er.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need to watch his rupee count at some point, because, you know, for him it's just going to be ammo for his bow.
Well, he should expect to be able to pick up a little bit of money in level 1 when he goes to kill those Pole's Voice. But yeah, this is one of the things about the Groundhog's Day race that can be a little intimidating is you have to think about how little can you get away with having.
Yep.
In the case of Truant and Fury, they're fine with 3 hearts and green tunic if it comes down to it. In the case of other runners, like you might see some runners pick up some extra hearts, you might see some runners pick up a candle. Truant Gamer's not going out of his way for any keys whatsoever, so either he kept track of how many key doors he needs, or he's still planning on picking up that any key in 8. He's just waiting for a convenient time to go get it. I sincerely hope he remembered to mark where the Triforce is.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if you haven't seen 9 yet, I just can't see going into 9 without some sort of key plan.
I'm a little curious what Truant's looking for here. Unless he remembered where the Triforce is and it's just in a different spot. Or he's taken a different route to get some keys. That could also be. Because it's not like he doesn't have the items. It's a little extra bombage, okay. It might have been that you just had to take this long, windy path to the Triforce, because I forget exactly where it was. I just remember it was ladder blocked. Rick now has the compass out of level 5. Truant Gamer is going to see this map and finds just a lowly heart container.
Yeah, well, if he's not picking up that heart, he's just not going to pick any up.
Nah. But he might have said, you know what, I have to take a scenic route to the Triforce anyway, so I might as well look for a red ring, maybe look for a couple of keys.
A red ring would be a nice safety item. I think that's the only... No, red ring and the red candle, that's the only thing left to even find.
Red ring, red candle, and a heart.
Well, yeah, I mean, besides all the heart containers.
Yeah. Malcure's gonna take a death to the Patra. Rick picks up the 5 Triforce. Truant gets a compass, realizes he was near it the whole time. Probably just did not mark where it was. That's fine, that doesn't cost him too much time. Truant and Fury are both about a third of their way into their respective day 2. Malcure is approaching the 30-minute mark on his day 2, and Rick is about 21 minutes in. And for Malcure in particular, that timing might get pretty tight. He might have to take a day 3. Although I don't think I've seen him pick up any Triforce pieces, so he might just say, you know what, I'm just going to go for the day 3 anyway.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a day 3. It's going to have to be a day 3 for Malcure.
We'll see what Truant is able to do. Truant may not have to take a day 3 here.
And of course, a lot of it's going to depend on when does, again, I keep asking this, when is Malcure going to get back into level 2? When is Fury? And yeah, I think you're right, when they have to. And it's going to come up soon. We're running out of places.
And there's also the very valid question of if you're Malcure and Fury, when you find that ladder, do you say, okay, I'm just going to YOLO 9 and hope that it's quick? Or do you say, no, I'm just going to take my day 3? Malcure's going to not pick up the any key on 8 keys.
Oh, okay, he's got 8 keys. I still would pick that up.
And Rick is looking for the Triforce still in this level 1. He does not know that it's up in that corner because he never opened that locked door. Or not up in the corner, up in that pulse voice room. Speaking of level 1, Truant's headed there now. Truant will probably go to 8 at the end, because 8 is the one Triforce he hasn't seen yet. Now, Truant with the extra key will be able to just walk through here.
Yeah, this will be a pretty easy level 1 for Truant.
He doesn't have any money, so he does have to sword down these pulse voice.
Well, he picked up the clock to make it better.
And doesn't even pick up the couple of rupees on the way out. There's a bomb upgrade Rick can't afford. Fury is headed up to the White Sword Cave, probably looking for level 6. Truant is headed straight to
8. Okay.
8. You know, this is fine. He'll do 8 and then he'll do 7. Melchior now in 7 himself. Melchior will probably dig 7 for both items, hoping to not have to do the Wizard Room in 2. But Melchior's also 2/3 of the way through his day 2. He has 15 minutes to do 7, go back to 2, and then do 9. And also do 6.
Do you think he gets through 7 fast enough to be able to go to 2 and find out that, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I think he can get through 7 fast enough to get back to 2. I think he might be able to do 7 and 6 fast enough to get back to 2, but he definitely doesn't have enough time to do all that and get through 9.
Oh, no way.
He's going to have to take a day 3 here.
But he did leave 7, so let's see if he goes to 2 now.
Well, he doesn't have any bombs.
Ah, good point.
Rick gets the Triforce out of 1. Truant is in 8. Truant is going to go for the magic key. Okay, that's kind of what we expected, given he was leaving keys. Fury finds 6. Fury will probably dig 6 looking for the ladder.
Also unfortunate.
Especially because the items in 6 were pretty deep. Rick being told to keep the secret between them. So this is the one. This is kind of where you see the downside of the early day 2. It can be really helpful if you're confident that you're going to be able to get through it, but Melchior now has 13 minutes to do everything.
And you're up to 10 rupees now for arrows.
The wand back.
A pretty free wand if you have the bow to kill the pulse voices.
Yeah. And I believe the Triforce was in this area.
Yeah, it was a patcher room.
In fact, it might be this room down here. Nope.
No, definitely not.
Rick's now in level 3. Melchior is working his way through level 7.
And unfortunately for Truant, he knows that that wasn't going to be the Triforce room either, since it did have a key sitting there on the floor.
Melchior gives up 3 keys.
Yeah, another reason to pick up that any key.
That is a hard required bugger room.
But if you know you're going to go and end up on a day 3, you can skip more keys and actually just get the any key if he wants to.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're Melchior, you're kind of having to... the only way that Melchior doesn't have to assume a day 3 is if he just completely ignores everything and goes to 2. But even then, that's still a very tight timeline to finish 9. That is correct. You have 45 minutes from the start of a fresh file to beat the seed. You may use all of the knowledge you've acquired in your previous playthroughs to your advantage. At 2 hours and 30 minutes, a mercy roll is enabled where you no longer have to reset at the 45-minute mark. Fury's going to see the heart there, elects to skip it in the end. Truant's still looking for the Triforce or the Compass. I think he'd take either. But this is where Truant is going to eat up a lot of his time in this day, is just having to get back through 8, which, again, he didn't have knowledge of this when he got to the 45-minute mark, so it's really just, that's how it is in this scene. He just wasn't able to find it before that 45. So for his sake, you want to see a compass here. Malkier is going to find the transport in 7, elects not to take it. Now, even with this dig of 8, Truant can still get done with 7 and 5 and go to 9 and be able to do it in under 25 minutes.
I think he still has a really good chance of finishing in day 2.
And finishing in day 2 would be a very strong performance. Boomerang. Malkier's going to pick it up. So if you are Team Truant Gamer, you want to see him either make his way to the patch room or just get the compass to go get to the Triforce. Looks like Truant is going to elect to go ahead and pick up this heart container.
He saw it, he thought about it, is decided, you know what, maybe I should have a 4th heart.
Malkier still digging. Pretty much committing to a day 3 at this point.
Yeah, there's just no way. He's still looking in 7. 7's just not the right answer.
Rick is in surprisingly decent shape. He's got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not convinced Rick's finishing in day 2, but he's got a lot of knowledge that I think he might be able to finish in day 3 without too much trouble.
Yeah. He might want to dig 9 a little bit just to see how close 9 is. Fury back in level 2.
Okay, this is where he needs to be.
And this could give Fury the ability to pull off a 2-day. Malkier, I believe, is in the item room of 7. Truant's still looking for that Triforce in 8. This is eating away a lot of his time that he's going to want for 9.
Yeah, Malkier, knowing that there's nothing interesting behind the power bracelet, doesn't even bother picking it up. He's thinking right now, it looks like.
He should know by now it's got to be 2. Compass for Fury. We'll see if he clears this room or not. I expect that he will at least attempt to, but he does not have a lot of health. What would be tragic is if he decides to leave the room, get the Triforce, and leave and come back later. Truant Gamer's doing his best to get through this room of level 8. Oh, look at this. No.
Oh, he wants to know if it's in this room.
He wants to know if this is going to lead him up to the segment.
Oh, that would be very bad. Because it could. Have we seen the transport to the segment?
We have not, and remove most open stairs is on, so this can very easily be the stair. Oh, no. And the wizard's rolled up.
No, everything's vanilla, we said, I thought.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Which, for Wizrobes is still a lot of HP.
Oh, but it does lead to the segment.
Oh, this is really unfortunate for Fury.
And Truant has been in just about every single room of this 8 now. He cannot be happy about that. Truant's... Again, I think Truant still has a strong shot at the day 2 finish.
Oh, totally agree.
And I don't see any of our runners on stream taking more than 3 days. I guess we should say 3 loops. There's the compass.
Yeah.
It is in that room. This will leave Truant with about 20-ish minutes. No, about 10-ish minutes to finish out the rest of the seed, which is doable. Just going to be a little bit tougher than I think we would like.
It's going to depend on what 9 does for us.
Also, this Patra. Thankfully, Truant gets a very good Patra fight.
Yeah, very nicely done. Neat.
We're being told that a seed should not take more than 72 hours. But we're on Hyrule, where a day is 45 minutes. Malkir's now going to try to rush through the blue wizard room. Does do so. Rick is back in level 4. Drunk Gamer's on his way to level 7. Truant, actually, with his route, 5 is right on the way to 9. He should be pretty okay. He'll need a little bit of good luck in 9, but if he doesn't, he will absolutely crush it on
yeah,
it
won't take him very long to get through it on day 3. I feel like Rick and Truant are both in pretty good position.
Fury's in a little bit of a tough spot. We'll see what Malkior decides to do, because they're kind of even with each other, but Malkior especially, he's got to reset in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, Fury, yeah, both in the right spot. Fury finished with the segment area.
Fury might be able to do it, but without really knowing what Triforces he does and doesn't have right now, it might just be a little bit of a tall order for him to get it in the next 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, they would reset at 1:30.
Yeah, he's got 20 minutes, so he might be able to do this.
German's got 20, so he should be perfectly fine. Gonna grab a potion here. Oh, gets a heart instead.
Gonna grab a heart.
So we're treating, so for the GroundHog's Day purposes, every 45 minutes is a day in Hyrule. Ergo it's 45 Earth minutes to 1 day. Malkior, I think, is moving to day, Malkior might be looking at moving to day 3 now. Fury's also moving to day 3.
Did they both see the ladder?
Fury definitely did. I don't recall if Malkior did. Day 3 start 1:11:36 for Fury. Malkior's got 4 minutes. He's thinking about this. Nope, 1:11:55, day 3 start for Malkior. Rick and Truman still on their day 2s. Rick's day 2 is coming up real quick, though. Wait, hold on. Rick has a little bit of time, because his was 36.
Yeah, he was like 5 or 6 minutes behind Malkior's reset.
So Rick has about 9 minutes or so before he's got to reset. Drunk Gamer has more time than I think. Drunk Gamer, I think, has enough time that he'll be able to do it in this loop.
Yeah, all depending on how good or bad 9 is, but we'll see. But yeah, unless 9 can always do 9 things, as we like to say. But if 9 is pretty simple, you should easily finish in this day 2.
He's eligible to go into 9 as soon as he does that.
There's that Triforce number 8.
So now that we're getting into 9, what are we going to be looking and listening for?
Well, we're going to be listening for the Roar of Ganon, which will happen in any adjacent room that he is in. And we're going to be looking for a door that, if Ganon is still alive, will not open even though we kill all the enemies in said room, or will open immediately if Ganon is already killed. And there's our cotton candy or Pepto-Bismol pink.
There's only one way to go in. Oh, please let this be immediate Zelda.
We'd have to kill the Gleeok to find out.
It's not immediate Zelda. Because you have to kill Gleeok anyway to get through.
I was about to say that if there's no other way to get through, that would be a very odd design of a 9 that you can't actually go anywhere with.
Look, I think we should have Ganon available. Oh, look, here's
look
Ganon.
at that. There's Ganon.
I'm waiting for Ganon and Zelda shuffle in between dungeons.
And there's a door in here.
If that door leads to... Oh!
Oh, no.
Takes a death.
The downside of not picking up a lot of hearts.
Yeah, you have to be very confident in your ability to stun lock the Ganon very quickly.
Fortunately, Mr. Gleeok stays dead.
Yes. And Rick's got about 8 minutes or so left. No, 6 minutes or so. Yeah, 6 minutes or so left. We have not seen a meat block yet. Just gotta be careful.
Blocks, what are those?
Loses stun lock.
Had the stun lock for a second.
And Rick's going to day 3. So everyone keep your eyes on that timer. As Ganon is not cooperating for Truant Gamer at all.
There we go.
Truant Gamer gets Ganon at 1:15:29. And Rick's day 3 starts at 1:15:34.
Oh, it's right there!
And there. Wow, okay. Well,
that was a very nice 9.
Truant Gamer will finish in 5th place with an official time of 1:15:44. Ahead of him were Scytown with a 1:03:41, Jacob with a 1:08:12, King Doll with a 1:10:49, and Chestrick with a 1:15:36. And that tells me that 9 just being as open and easy as was really gets that time down.
Yeah, that 9 was really free. I mean, there were 2 obvious places to look for Zelda immediately after Ganon. There was a shutter door in Ganon's room that could have led to Zelda, or there was the one down from the manhandler. And it's very easy. Just walk down and see if that door opens, and if it doesn't, you can go the other direction.
Yeah. So Rick on the day 3, Fury still on the day 2. Fury's got about 14 or so. No, Fury's on day 3. My apologies. Everyone's on day 3.
Everybody's on day 3 now. Did we get a time for the start of Rick on day 3?
I have 1:15:34. And with that thing, it sounds like we do have Truant Gamer here with us. GG's on the finish, and congratulations on the free 9.
I mean, that was pretty crazy. Kill a Gleeok, go up from a manhandler, kill Ganon, walk down, and you're there.
Yeah, that was you walk in and there's no room to the left or right. It's like, okay, she might be there. And I walked in that Gleeok and I thought I heard Ganon, so I tried bombing, and that didn't work. And then the next room I heard the blip and said, yep, he's here.
So the key thing that you did, and Rick did it pretty early too, but you were definitely the first of our runners to go through 2. It took Fury and Malchior in particular a long time to get back over to 2, to get their in particular their ladders. I think both of them picked up the silver arrows pretty quickly in there.
Yeah, I don't remember the first time through that room, but I knew I had to clear it because I didn't want to go to the upper half. And when I saw the ladder, I was hoping to really push, and I was moving pretty good. But once I circled back around to like level 8, I passed it, hoping to find 7 quick, and I did. But I knew at that point I wasn't going to be able to finish, so I was just trying to get around to the next run.
Yeah, Fury actually spent time killing those Blue Woods robes, which was which indeed, in fact, he's there right now again. Indeed, did lead to the segment.
So let's talk about level 8 and why it's terrible.
That was
Oh
a
my gosh.
terrible 8.
Yeah, I was getting concerned. I'm pretty sure I full cleared that 8. Maybe I hit
See,
the bottom corner, but
see,
I was,
there you go. It was 8. 8. The game owed you an easy 9 after that 8.
yeah, that must have been what it was. It just and then of course I skipped the Patra, hoping, and then it ends up being the Patra. And I'm glad I maneuvered through the first time and didn't kill myself with bonfire.
So Fury went to 8 before 2 to have the any key to not have to worry about trying to Kanana key in the Pulse Voice room.
Yeah, in your second playthrough, you knew where that any key was, and it just took you. I assume you had a route in mind that said, I'm gonna wait until I have a little bit more stuff, to go into 8, pick up the any key then, and then also worry about keys in 9. Now, as it turned out, you didn't have to worry about keys in 9, but.
Yeah, I was trying to get I had the 4 dungeons on the right side. I was trying to get those done first. And my brain just didn't even consider keys until I walked into 2 and said, do I need keys? And then I saw that room, like, alright, well, that's going to be a challenge. And then I got bopped, and I'm like, now it's going to be harder. And thankfully, the Pulse Voice played nice around the turrets. I actually thought I only had 1 hit saved for it, so I was quite surprised when it was 2.
Yeah, and then of course 1 was. It was kind of funny. Like we were speculating whether to do 1, with the white sword because 1 screen away, or to come back with bow and silvers. And then the game kind of decided for you in the second playthrough.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought about that too the whole time. Like, do I just go in here with the sword? I could probably kill them fast enough, but a bow would be super fast. And I knew where everything was, obviously. And I figured, well, I'll come back with the bow, and maybe I'll pop a few more rooms if I have to for like a red ring or a few more heart containers. And then I didn't pick up any heart containers. I said, well, let's just go for it.
Yeah, you picked up the 1 in 8, where you towards the end. Was that kind of a concession to maybe I want a little bit of extra health going into 9?
Well, my plan was to at least have 5 hearts so I could take 1 hit from Ganon. And I didn't do that. I kept skipping them, and then I realized that I was kind of out of options, so I had to go grab the 1 below start. That's why I had 5, and then the Gleeok took it away from me, so at that point it didn't matter.
And meanwhile, Rick has gotten his stuff out of 2.
Gonna grab the bow before going back in there. Fury's gonna grab the Triforce out of 6. Melchior is in 3. So you were the only of the 4 restreamed runners to finish on cycle 2.
Technically cycle 3.
Right, because they retry early on.
Yeah, but you reset on time for it to be basically cycle 2.
Yes, I saw that too, and I kind of laughed at it because I think I reset exactly at like 44, 50.
Yeah, you were really close to the end of the time.
Which is
Yeah,
fun.
you and Fury both took as long as you could on the first cycle. You want to talk about your strategy going in? Because we had Rick and Malkier both reset early. Malkier especially.
Well, knowing the white sword was free somewhere in the overworld, I figured I'd check a few caves along the way, find out where it was, and then do a quick retry so that I'm starting a full 45 fresh. And I think it was 4 or 5 minutes before I found it, so I knew I'd get, those minutes back. I think I found 9 first before the sword, so that wasn't terrible. 9 and 1. So I got something out of it, and then I just wanted to go. I wanted to stay as far away from Death Mountain as I could, and try and work the areas that would be, easy enough to group up and get through without having to cycle back more than once to that area. I would say it was a pretty forgiving seed once you knew what you were doing the second time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just gotta brave those wizards in 2.
Yeah, and
by brave, just don't let them kill you.
I did contemplate around the 30-minute mark of the first run if I should, because I think I was still looking for 7 and 3 maybe at that time, and I was thinking about maybe resetting, but I kind of wanted to at least find one of them. And then I realized in level 3 that 7 was going to be either 7 or the White Sword was going to be the block dungeon, so that's why I skipped straight down and started checking recorder spots.
Yeah, we did end up with I forget what the White Sword item was, just the blue boomerang, so I don't know if you saw that or not.
We know that the red candle, I think the red candle and red ring will never be found.
Yeah, they're probably somewhere in 9, but yeah. I mean, it's funny. I mean, that manhandler room, for all we know, could have had something in it.
You know, and I thought about that after the first death to Ganon. I'm like, should I check it? What if it's the red ring? That'd be kind of silly. And I just said, no, let's just go for it. Got a little hairy there at the end, but we pulled it out.
We have simultaneous Triforce pickups from Fury and Malchior.
Synchronization hype!
Fury looking in pretty good shape. Already has 5 Triforces in his second day.
Yeah, I don't foresee Fury taking very long to finish this out, especially because he pretty much knows where everything is except the Triforce Innate, which is probably going to take a significant amount of time, because it's terrible.
Yeah, Rick has that one advantage. He did get the Triforce out of 8 in his previous run, so he does know where that is.
Potion for Fury.
So Truant, feel free to stick around as we watch the other runners, or if you need to go, that's fine too. Either way, GG's. Nice performance.
Thank you. I'm probably going to get going, but I appreciate everyone stepping in to get this on tonight, and I'm glad that we got another one going after missing it last year. It's always a fun race to do.
And Rick gets his Triforce out of 4.
Fury's in 5. Fury's, honestly, depending on how long it takes Fury to get through 80, could very well be done in the next, 15 minutes. Malchior gets his Triforce out of 6.
Yeah, 8 being, the long dungeon, but I don't see how... as long as you keep in mind that door in the room before Ganon, the painfulness of the possibility of going through the door that Ganon went to and then just forgetting about that manhandle, I really hope that doesn't happen to anyone.
Well, there's also the question of how many people are going to try to check the stair by killing the manhandler. Because if you kill the manhandler to see if Ganon's adjacent, then not only do you get the benefit of Zelda's there, but you also know Ganon's there, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Fury about to pick up the Triforce in 5. Malchior not too far behind. Malchior just needs to get back into 2 and 4. She'll probably knock those 2 out at the same time. Rick not far behind both of them.
Yeah, I feel like for all our runners, we're probably on our last day.
Yeah. I would argue Rick is probably... So, I would argue Rick is going to finish first of the 3 that are left, just because of that knowledge of where the Triforce is in 8.
It's funny to say that, but yeah, I mean, that's gonna help him a lot, even though his Triforce count is not nearly as what the others are.
Although I don't know if Rick has been into 6 much.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because if Rick doesn't know where 6 is, that's huge. Rick is gonna grab this heart. And Fury is looking like he's going to go to the right side of 8 first, which we know is not where the Triforce is. Malchior gets the Triforce out of 5. Rick will be shortly behind. But Rick does not have the... Oh, Rick does have the ladder.
Yeah,
Rick is going north
that.
to get the heart. Is Rick... I wonder if Rick makes a magical sword play, given the amount of hearts he's picking up.
Did we see it at all? Have we seen Magic Sword?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say no.
No, you never know. Rick might have seen it and we just missed it.
With 3 other screens? Yeah, we definitely could have missed it.
It sounds like we're hearing from Mr. Melchior.
That's why the
Sorry.
trackers... Yeah, that's why the trackers are the MVPs. We miss that stuff. They don't.
They have eyes like hawks, and then they have 3 hawk heads, so they can watch everything.
Yeah, Fury killing a Patra in level 8, unfortunately, is not the Patra that has the Triforce.
No, but it is a Patra, so... Rick on his way to 7. He's still doing the 8 dig. And Malkier will be getting the any key now.
Yeah, again, not knowing that level 9 is free as it is, wanting to make sure that you can get through it.
Fury started day 3 at like 1:11:36, so Fury I think has plenty of time here.
Yeah, oh yeah, Fury's fine. Rick is the one that started his... No, wait, Rick was at 1:15. He was the one that started the latest.
Yeah, so
his...
Rick's gonna be fine. Malchior started at... Was it about... It was about the same time Fury did.
Yeah, it was like right...
It was just before.
After? It was right before. Yeah, it was right before. I think you're right.
So, as long as Malchior is fine, Fury's fine, and vice versa. Malchior does have a couple of Triforces still to get, but... He knows where they are. He knows where the dungeons are. Oh yeah, that's right. He didn't have the keys to get into the door in 2. That's why he doesn't have the Triforce out of there.
Yeah, I believe Rick and Malchior both are decided to wait on finishing 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a pretty quick return visit, and both of them still have to do 4 anyway. Rick, I don't think knows where the Triforce in 7 is, but I'm pretty sure he's close to it. Well, this is going to be that transport stair that he doesn't need to take.
Taking it anyway.
The joys of incomplete information.
Yeah.
Although Fury's pretty close to where the Triforce is. Malchior is over in Canada. Or no, he's in the southeast, so I guess that would be Florida?
Well, I'll take that.
And the Triforce itself is in, like, Vancouver. With that little tippy top corner where the compass was being, like, the Northwest Territories. Fury's got to be a little bit careful. Doesn't have a ton of health to work with, but this is the Triforce
we have...
room.
There's simultaneous Patra fights going on. Unfortunately, only one of them's in the right place for it.
Rick takes a death in 7. Fury is definitely going to be on track to finish, honestly, probably within the next 5 minutes, because I believe he knows where the Triforce is.
Fury's next of our stream runners for sure.
Malchior probably won't be too far behind. Rick's just got to find this Triforce in 7.
Yeah, I mean, Rick rolling with 2 Triforces on the board, but knows where everything else is, including the 1 and 8.
And Fury's setting his whistle up to go to 5 as soon as he's done with 7. Going to elect to spend the bomb instead of re-whistle. Malchior can clear this for free. Triforce for Rick, but he's still looking for items. That tells me he has not seen where level 6 is, I don't think.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The 7 is just a wooden boomerang and a heart container.
And Rick will have to reset at about the 2-hour mark, so he's got 30 minutes, which is still plenty of time to beat the scene. But just something to keep in mind, folks, is that...
Alright, the power bracelet's the 7, so hopefully, yeah, don't go back in.
Just don't autopilot do that. Fury is on his way to level 5, we think. That took him to level 4. So he's just going to up A.
Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and clear out 8.
Melchior's in the room with the Patra.
Alright, he's killing it. He's good to go.
He's got to be careful. He's only got 1 hit. He can't...
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah, except that.
And now the question is, when will he go back there?
That's... Okay, Fury in level 9. We'll see if he can puzzle this out.
I expect he's probably gonna... Well, he's gonna have to clear this Kleok. The question is, what will he do about the Manhandla?
Very nicely done on that Gleok.
Yeah, that was quick and easy.
Okay, he's just hitting it to get away from it quickly.
Yep. Fury versus Ganon. We'll see if he goes back down or if he goes to the right first. He might go back down before continuing to explore in 9 anyway. Even if he does go to the right first, because it's a free door to check.
Yeah, I mean... You know there's a shutter door there. You know it'll open immediately if it's the right one.
Yeah.
Rick gets his wand again out of 8. That's a pretty free wand.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
round
Fury's
2
still-
for Fury.
Let's see. 1. No stun lock yet.
Ooh.
Takes there. Does have a potion, but has to be careful. Ganon, a single Ganon hug will kill him no matter what. Ganon doesn't cooperate. That's 3. Ganon doesn't cooperate. 4. 5, but takes the death.
Yep. That's unfortunate. We try again?
I wonder if he still has that potion right outside of 9.
And unless that red ring is sitting there underneath that manhandla,
Rick is now in the
there's no getting it.
Rick is now in the Triforce room of 8. Malchior is going into every room that is not that Patra room.
I mean, can you blame him after the last fight?
No.
But yeah, a little unfortunate.
Rick's got to be careful here. Gonna go ahead and potion up. Fury's gotten, I think, 2 hits. 3, 4. Stun lock, engage. There we go.
Okay, which way are you going? Down
Now
or right?
Rick has
Gonna go
the
right
Triforce.
first.
Fury gonna go right. There is no Zelda, there's only Zool. He is gonna go back and check that manhandle door.
Okay, we're good.
Apologies if I talked over you a little bit.
And that'll be Fury finishing up.
We have Fury in
8th place.
8th
Official
place at
race.
the time of... Oh, hold on. There's a tie.
You know, it is a tie, but I'm pretty sure in race time would show the person that typed it first. Doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of actually, like if this were a tournament race, you'd retime it. But for purposes of this not being a tournament race and being for fun, we're gonna call it 8th place with a tied time with Fred Coughlin, both with a 137.41.
Finishing in between... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna add the other. We had before them. We had in 6th place Big Slam Moo with a 118.38, and Panzer Dave, just 2 minutes before them, 135.37. We have King Doll in chat telling us that is a transport in 9.
And Rick is still looking for level 6. Hey, found the wood sword. Malkier is probably going to be very unhappy when he sees that it is that badger room. And we're probably going to see a Death Mountain check here for 6.
Remind me, where is 6 again?
South Coast.
Oh. Not really in the right vicinity.
Yeah, this could be a longer process than I think Rick would like to see.
That's just enough money for those bombs.
And Malkier now gets the bad news. It is the Patra.
At least he knows it's the Patra. Definitely would feel bad to go through all that, kill it, and it not be the right answer. It looks like we have Fury joining us. GG's.
Thank you. A little bit frustrating when the last room and the last dungeon that you have an outstanding item in is where the actual item you need is, I guess, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, 2 was not friendly to most anyone this seed.
Yeah, it was kind of a tale of 2 in a lot of ways. Like you and Malchior were just really late to getting into 2, or getting into that last part of 2. Truant got to it pretty early. Rick got to it relatively early.
Yeah, right now Malkier is just not having a fun time with Patra.
Yeah, outside of level 8's Patra with the Triforce, it did go too bad on Patra fighting, but I don't know. Some other poor deaths, I suppose, happened for me.
Rick's right now looking for level 6.
He's in the right area for it. But yeah, how about that level 9?
To the right side of the room, or the side I was on. I got trolled pretty bad on the direction you decide to go each and every time, except for the last, kind of.
Okay, Malchior gets his Triforce out of 8. But yeah, that level 9 was just really interesting. You know, the almost immediate Ganon and just walk back down. Very, very happy that you went back to the Manhandler room rather than continuing on when you went right.
Yeah, there's 2 open doors and a wall I couldn't get through, so knowing where a staircase was already with a shutter door, it'd been kind of silly to ignore it and continue on for too much longer. At least you could turn around and go through the staircase if it doesn't open.
Rick having found level 6 is now ready to just get his Triforces and go to 9. I don't think he'll dig 6.
I mean, there's nothing else for him to look for.
The only item of use in here for him is right on the path. You can't miss it, so
yeah,
probably will pick that up and run.
Yeah, we saw you different strategies. You and Truant took, in your case, all of your 45 minutes for the first day, and then reset. Rick reset a lot earlier. Malchior even earlier than that. Like I think once Malchior was at 30 minutes and Rick about 36.
That's correct.
So what is your strategy when it comes to when to do the reset?
In this one, I wanted enough exploration items, and because the bow's on the coast, I wanted the ladder. So if I find the ladder specifically before 45 minutes, I'm probably not taking the entire time. But I had outstanding dungeons, I had no ladder, so I figured I might as well use the power bracelet on as many spots as I had time to click, and I think the second quest, level 4, which is the push block right below Vanilla 5, I think I pushed that with 3 seconds left and then went ahead and just called it a reset.
That sounds about right.
So for everyone's reference on times, Malcure's day 3 started about the same time as Fury's did, and Rick's was at 1:15:36. Malcure's going into 9. Did he get the Triforce? Is that a 2 and 4 and we missed it?
We're about to find out.
He did.
Did.
Okay.
Okay.
And Malcure will likely be done in the next couple of minutes here. Gonna try to avoid killing Gleok if he can.
Oh yeah, you had a really nice Gleok kill. Going into 9.
Yep.
Oof.
2-headed Gleok, so not too terrible with Wand and White Sword. Did everybody else kind of use that strategy on reset of going to 8, even though you don't have ladder, and get the wand so that you have the free extra combat for Pole's Voice, or what was kind of the play?
Well, True the second time through went to 8 very late, even though he knew the key was there and the wand. I feel like Rick was in 8 earlier getting stuff.
Rick got the wand earlier, but looks like he skipped the any key, and Malcure only got the wand after dying twice to Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see not plotting out the any key early, but I really didn't feel like mapping out a whole lot of stuff in dungeons. I kind of wanted to map out items and go, so I didn't want to get locked out of random stuff.
Malcure's gonna try to clear the main handler.
If you could have gotten it in one shot, you know, that would be pretty good, but...
And Rick is making his way over to level 9.
Yeah, I wonder if we missed his 4, 5, and 8. Well, he was an 8. I know he's got that. Pretty certain he's got that Triforce at the very least.
And I know I saw him get the Triforce in 5. Malcure's gonna go for it. Gotta be careful.
He's gonna get the Zelda knowledge if he does survive this.
And we'll get the Ganon knowledge immediately after, because he'll probably just leave
because
the
the
room.
Roar should be there.
Or just walk into Ganon on accident. Okay. Oh, but Rick is very nearby. And Rick has a lot more health than Malcure does.
Yeah, Malcure can't take any kind of hit, and there you go.
Oh, Malcure takes a hit. Rick gets the one shot on the main handler. Has the knowledge of both with 5 hearts.
Yeah, Rick can take a hit.
This might turn into a flipped situation between these two just based on that one Ganon death. Oh, but Rick takes a Ganon. How Ganon takes a death himself?
He had the potion ready, too.
And now Malcure's back into the Ganon fight with 3 hearts. I don't think Malcure has a potion. Oh, but has a stun lock. Oh, drop the stun lock. Drops it again, doing the left side strat. Does have a potion, he will use it.
There we go.
Gets Ganon there.
Rick can try to do this without using the potion right away, but he is going to give up. Yeah, I mean, at this point, just use it.
Yep. And that is going to be Malcure going into Zelda's room. Malcure finishing in 10th place with a time of 1:47:48. Rick will not be far behind.
And this time, Rick has no potion, so he's just going to have to do it on 3 hearts.
Just get a stun lock. Problem solved.
Yep.
And there's the stun lock. Oh, dropped it a little bit. He's fine, he's fine. Picks it back up there. Just needs one more hit, I think. Gets the hit. There we go. door will open. Rick will be finishing up in a few seconds.
Yeah, Rick finishing up with an official race time of 1:48.52 in 12th place. Finishing in between him and Malkier was Homer J. Smash with a 1:48.05. So GG's to all our runners.
GG's, everyone. And whichever two just joined us on that ding.
I believe that's Malkier.
Ah, Mr. Full Clear.
I didn't want to do it tonight. I really didn't.
Look, just dodge Wizrobes in 2 and find your ladder in the back guarded by Pole's voice. Problem solved.
Yeah, that was the big
Yeah.
difference between.
I felt I found 2. I mean, not as early as I could, but at the time I'm like, all silvers, sweet. And I saw 8 blue wizards. I'm like, nope, because I knew I still wanted to find other dungeons. I wanted to know where 7 was, so I wasn't in item mode yet. And then I never returned.
Now you were the first of our runners on Restream to do a reset. But what, like 30 minutes in?
Yeah,
What was your strategy? I'll let you finish that. We do have Rick joining us as well, but let's let Malkier answer that question. GG's, Rick.
GG's, Rick. Yeah, my strategy was I wanted to know where all my dungeons were. And then I would take the early reset, kind of just playing, there's no way I'm going to finish this on loop 1. And 15 more minutes, okay, maybe I could dig out one more dungeon, but I'll be digging anyway on loop 2. So it's like, I just want to know that I have the overworld block dungeon. And I was getting scared, because I only had 2 recorder spots left. But Recorder Lake opened, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
All right, now we also have Rick joining us. You also reset relatively early. I want to say about the 36-minute mark. What was your thought process?
Well, at that point in time, I was like, okay, I know where the bow, or rather the ladder and the silvers are. Let's go ahead and have at it. But unfortunately, I made a very critical error, which is what wound up killing me on my, what I think, day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, level 6.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Yep,
never
level 6.
checked the coast, and I think it was right about the back, or the first quarter of day 3 when I started to realize I never found where 6... I'm missing 2 dungeons. I'm not missing 1 dungeon, I'm missing 2. And that kind of destroyed me in the sense that now I'm digging things unnecessarily, thinking that maybe there's another item that's blocking something as opposed to checking everything else out.
Yeah, well, fortunately, you started to dig 7 a little bit. 7 did have the power bracelet, so good on you that you didn't find it, I guess.
Yeah.
I found it.
So I can already mention the major errors that I made in this race. Like, for instance, I dug 8 for way too long. Now, the Any Key's nice, but 8's a way too big of a dungeon to be digging out. And I can definitely tell who the top finishers, they're digging the smaller levels. They're digging the levels that make sense to be digging, like 1, 2, 3, and there's your path right there. You get to level 3, you already found level 6. Guess what? That level 7 discovery, all you need to do is just get your Triforces and get to 9.
I mean, if I wasn't a chicken and just realized I only have like 5 hearts anyway, these wizards are gonna kill me fast regardless. I can just, I guess I'm what did I mark? Alright. I was trying to see if I marked on loop 1 that door was open or if it was shuttered, and I guess, I don't know. I saw wizards, I'm like, I'll come back here later.
There's a lot of blue wizards. Yeah, you and Fury were very late to going back into level 2 to find the ladder, whereas Truant and Rick got the ladder relatively early. Fury had the misfortune of actually killing the wizards and finding the transport to the other part of 2. So
It wasn't that bad. It's just Danger Noodles, more Wizrobes, and more Pole's voice to kill.
yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't, unfortunately didn't need to do, but made it
So
pretty
there-
easy to find at the end that had to be your ladder coming up.
Oh yeah,
There's
it was
there's a
like I said.
slight. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was literally the last room. I had no other rooms left in the game. Otherwise, I was re-clearing stuff.
Wait, are you serious? You full
That's serious.
cleared 8, 7, 6?
I couldn't find any way through 8 that wasn't ladder blocked to the Triforce, so I eventually gave up. So I either killed a room at the same time I bombed, or mismarked something I bombed.
Damn.
Outside of that, I cleared every other dungeon as far as you could go to every room. So the Pulse Voice room was the last one.
Yeah, I pretty much full cleared as well. I was very, very late to find that ladder, like you. I even found all the items. I missed. There was one stair I couldn't find in 8, and like you said, got ladder blocked. And so I was like, all right, time to go dig 7 because it's right here. 2 items. Play for odds. After finding both items in 7, it's like, okay then, what's going on? And then I look closely. I'm like, oh god, not the Wizards.
Yeah, well, I finally decided.
Pause Stratch definitely was my best friend for that Wizrobe room. There's no way I'm fighting that Wizrobe room. There's no way I'm trying to even deal with that Wizrobe room. Give me the Saber Strats right then and there. Let's go!
I would say the Whistle room actually was easier for me to get through than the Pulse Voice with the Beamos. That was really annoying on 3 hearts. You lose your beams pretty much instantly.
Yep.
Even with the wand, it's not a fun time, and that's why I kept skipping it, because I just didn't want to be bothered with Pulse Voice with the Beamos hit me.
Yeah, the Pulse Voices were not placed kindly given where things work. Because I mean, you could choose, like, 1 had a bunch of Pulse Voice, but it was right by the White Sword, so you didn't really want to go all the way up to the White Sword and not do 1. And then 2, gating the bow, yeah, those 2 things combined, just, you just had to deal with it one way or the other.
I loved how the Pulse Voices blocked 3 drop items.
Yep.
Yeah,
This
there you
sea could have been a lot different without a free White Sword.
Yeah, that's true.
And as the person who came up with the flags for this race, my thought process in regards to the White Sword as the armmost item, I wanted to have a counterbalance to the fact that there was going to be an overworld block. And, you have to finish the seed in 45 minutes, and I don't want a whole lot of people needing to get to that 2 hour and 30-minute mercy kill rule because they're struggling. Because there's like a whole bunch of things that are just out of control, and there's the White Sword and Wand in level 9. So that was my thought process behind the flags here, and
yeah, it was a good decision. I'm guessing Red Ring is in like freaking 9.
I think Red Ring
9...
and Red Candle have to be a 9. I think that's the only things we didn't see.
Wow! Thank gosh that 9 was friendly. When I entering that 9, I'm like, all right. I got 15 minutes. Till I lose my loop. Oh gosh, here we go.
And that was exactly what I was thinking too when I was going through 9. I'm like, come on, please give me an access to Ganon, give me access to Zelda, and get me through the seed. And lo and behold, it's a forced direction level 9.
Yep, thank gosh.
Yeah, we decided that the level 9 was a makeup for the level 8 you all had to endure.
Oh, that 8. Even early, I surprised myself with my combat this seed. Like, you're talking about all these Pulse Voices with the Beamos rooms. I dodged them all. It was nuts. And then I got all the way through that 8, found that wand and that thing. Even on loop 2, I found wand and any key in 8. And I was like, well, dang, I needed something to be here. But there was no way to find the try without the ladder.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here on my side is that this is definitely a showcase that I do need to strengthen up my combat before we get into the upcoming tournament that begins in 12 days, because if I have combat like this, then it's a good way that I'm going to get tossed to the wayside really fast, because you can't be dying twice to Ganon. In fact, I think that's what cost me against Melchior.
Yeah, it was a little back and forth towards the end, because he went in, I think he died, and then you went in, and then you died, and then I think he got it on his second try. I want to say.
Yeah. I died to manhandle it though, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because
I was testing the door,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh thank gosh, it's Princess. All right, let's go find the pig. And then the room went dark. I'm like, it's just shapes, right? I was like, oh gosh, okay, here we go.
But yeah, GG's to everyone for getting through this. This was a rude seed, but this was also a friendly seed at the same time, just all depending on which directions you went. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Sunday has in store.
You want to talk about what's going on Sunday?
So Sunday is going to be the Speed Gaming Weekly Race, and it's going to be this, once again, it's the redux of this, so those who missed out on the opportunity to play it tonight, well, they've got another chance to play it on Sunday night.
Sounds awesome. All right. And yeah, we do have the upcoming tournament. Are all of you entering?
I question my life decisions, but I'm in it.
I
Yeah, man.
totally understand that.
This is probably my. Well, I'll be both pre and post dad % during this tournament, so it'll be interesting.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
As well.
It's gonna be a riot. Bird, are you in?
If I'm not in, I need somebody to tell me that my form didn't go through.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will be on comms. I am not. I like watching you guys play much better than playing myself. So, at least in tournament situations. But it's gonna be a fun one, I'm for sure. All right. Anything anyone else wants to add before we close this out?
Thanks for hosting this. Thank y'all for offering commentary on what is probably not necessarily the easiest settings to follow.
Now, the settings weren't bad. It's 4 screens. That's the hard part.
Oh yeah, 4 screens. It's like who's on which loop. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I echo what Malkier said. Thanks to everybody who came together for the restream side.
Yeah, definitely got to give a big shout outs to Kami and Renokai for volunteering to restream this, because this is a tough one, because most of these ones you sit there and you go, okay, it's gonna be maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops. Here, because of the format of this race, you don't know, and you're praying at the point that somebody's down to like single digits as minutes on their counter. You're like, please get them to Zelda, please.
Yep. Absolutely.
Also, I checked, Bird, you are on the sign up list.
Hooray!
Yeah, and also shout out our tracker, Malkier, the other Malkier, formerly known as Darkfall. So, always our MVPs keeping track of what's going on in the race. As they said, 4 screens. It's a lot. It's very difficult when you have 4 screens either way. So, huge shout outs to him. Yeah. That will do it for us. Thanks again to all our runners. Alsoa, it was a pleasure. I hope to catch some time with you again in the upcoming tournament.
Absolutely, and it was a pleasure working with you as well.
All right. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Tune in on Sunday night for the speed gaming version of this race, and we'll see you all then.
Have a good one.